Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the New York Jets. With that, we head up to MetLife Stadium as we'll hand it over to the two men that'll call the action, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. A short time ago, the Jets defense introduced to this crowd, and one of the biggest ovations was for the big man, Leonard Williams, as he and his mates get set to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. Welcome in, everyone, alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden. So you've got 1 week of preseason games in the books. Now you start to really assess some of the vets and, of course, some of the young players.
You're exactly right, because now there's a week's worth of film out there for everyone to watch. And for guys who may or may not make these particular teams, that film will be out there around the league, so maybe they can catch on somewhere else if they have to. But this would be a lot of fun to see how much time the veterans play versus how much time the young guys get.
The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway here on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and third pick in the 2018 draft.
I remember talking with a scout about him, and he said, you know, I love the fact that he was a high school basketball player. He does so many things with his legs to keep plays alive, but he did the same thing as a basketball player, kind of a point guard, knows where the ball's supposed to go, and knows how to deliver it to the open man.
On first down, Darnold. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Now a play fake here on first down. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Nick Perry in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early second down and long.
All right, here we go.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And a big 32-yard play on third. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and learning all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Darnold from the gun. And that is incomplete.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle, no mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
And Bullock will put this one through. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So the first points of the night belong to our home team as they're able to take the opening kickoff and at least get 3 points out of it.
Yeah, and that helps the crowd, right? Helps people feel good about why they're there watching this game. They moved the ball well on their opening drive.
Following the field goal on is Locke Edwards to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the poster boys for persistence and belief in self. Because coming out of high school, he had 0 scholarship offers in the D1 level. Went to a junior college, went to Cal, and just blew up there. And then, of course, as a first-round draft pick, but a lot lower than what he expected in the first round, and then had to sit behind Brett Favre for a few years in Green Bay before getting his shot. Now he's probably one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen come down the pipe.
Now a run with Anderson, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers to Michelle on the dump off. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. That's caught by Geronimo Allison. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And quickly the starting 11 now for the New York defense.
Leonard Williams was one of my favorite players when he came out of college. Light on his feet, excellent movement skills, able to get people's hands off of him so he can get into the opposing backfield, and also has the strength to bull rush when necessary.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Marshall. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Now Rodgers. And he's got Rodgers. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A really nice gain of 25 yards. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, just keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
319! 319!
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. He goes underneath for Anderson. A good display of footwork. It gets him just inside the 5 to the 4. It'll be a gain of 6, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll run it. Here's Anderson. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack him because right now they probably have their head.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. C.J. Anderson taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Packers have taken the early lead. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Crosby with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Crosby on now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here we go.
Play action. It's Darnold. Oh, wide open. Complete. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 62 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Blue 90.
Here's Darnold. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
They were held to a field goal on their first drive. They want 6 now, but it's 3rd and goal.
Green, 39. Green, 39.
Back to throw, Darnold. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth, because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we?
Yeah.
Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
319.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Got a man, that's Allison. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? On 1st down, Rodgers. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Local over here. 319.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And Adams has it. Good play. So a big 3rd down hookup here will take us to the break. 7-6 our score. And we will return to MetLife Stadium after this. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And again, it's Rodgers. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. In for the score. And the Packers add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point try now for Crosby. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Crosby on now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A first down throw, Darnold. Complete out right to Kurz. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 30.
Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this 2nd quarter. But I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
Green 39. Green 39.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
I know we're just in the 2nd quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's a 2nd drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. Aaron Rodgers, we focus on him for our Players Spotlight. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all
Still
for
first
naught
down.
on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10. Following the penalty, Anderson. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half, Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Rodgers looking to throw on second down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Geronimo Allison, the intended target. Third down here.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Rodgers to throw on third down. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. Still shedding tackles. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old, reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw is Rodgers. To throw on second down. They'll check this one down to Michel. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Rodgers now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
The Packers on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Hey, 626.
Working from the gun. Rodgers. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in. And now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly and go, or savor it a little bit, but I run right back at them.
Anderson is the lone man in the backfield here as they get set for a 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Anderson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. Third down. They pitch it out to Anderson. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. C.J. Anderson ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's C.J. Anderson who tops it off with the touchdown run. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's Darnold, and that is incomplete here. He was looking for the tight end, Adam Shaheen, that time. And now it's second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Green 39! Green 39!
Second down and 10, Darnold. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. Shaheen, the tight end, on the right side. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, first and 10. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. To Michel on the dump off. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 10th carry now for Anderson. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. So from the 36 now, first and 10. They run again on first down. Anderson. Room to run past midfield. C.J. Anderson. Touchdown, Packers. C.J. Anderson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Packers add on to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Crosby on now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
To throw is Darnold. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Clay Matthews in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. On second down, Darnold. He goes underneath for Yeldon. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Now whistles come in before this snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved.
False start, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
This 3rd down just got even more difficult. 3rd down and 15 after the false start.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Here's a give to Corral. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Jalen Marshall, 68 yards. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Crosby with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Watch 14. All right, here we go. Green, 39.
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Perry able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. The Jets on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling. To quarter 3. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So we got 3 of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
3 down.
Now it's the backup Kaiser. And Davis has it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards for number 11.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Kaiser on first down. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
We got three. Come on, let's go. White 90.
On 2nd down, Williams pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Packers on third down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Ohio! 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 Ohio!
To throw is Kaiser. He's got his man. It's Williams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground with Williams. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Off the play fake, Kaiser. And Davis with it left side. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Williams. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Packers continue to roll.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Ohio! Ohio!
They'll look to run forward with Williams. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. Crosby on now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
319! 319!
On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Jets on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9.
Now let's go. Green.
Shotgun snap for McCarron. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here, back at the 41. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved. Now they nab the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Clinton Dix there for the stop. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
Has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
On 3rd and long, it's McCarron finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
He sets to fire deep. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there, couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown?
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And go running right through it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
McCarron now on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Watch you now, Barney.
Now a play fake. McCarron. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to the 18. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And Bullock will put this one through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Deshaun Kaiser making his way out to the huddle. The lead is theirs here in the 3rd quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible. I want to throw a bunch of touchdown passes. But when you're able to run the football, typically speaking, your team's doing pretty well. And in this case, they're winning.
We'll see if they have balance on this drive.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Another run, but this time it's Rawls. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. A nice, strong run there for Rawls. His coaches back in high school in Flint, Michigan, you know what his nickname was?
No, what was it?
The Train. The man can break some tackles on occasion.
Well, it makes sense when you watch runs like that, because when you're trying to deal with a train, you're supposed to get out of the way, right? And if you don't, you're going to get bruised up trying to tackle him. That's the type of runner he is. He can pop people as he goes by them.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. It's a gain of 3 on what will be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Again, it's Williams. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been automatic. How about 8 for 8 in the game thus far? This will be 3rd and 5. And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Here we go. Red 38. Red 38.
Kaiser from the gun on 3rd. And he will find the open man. It's Jamon Moore. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a 1st down. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Kaiser now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On play action, Kaiser. And this is incomplete. Ricky Seals-Jones, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Williams loses the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
Preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know they've become regular season. He's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10.
Set. Green, 39.
So the fumble recovery, and now McCarron. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
McCarron again here on 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. Now McCarron. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now the Packers get set to go. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team. It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Kaiser now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Come on, let's go.
On 2nd down, rolls. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Flex round. Flex round.
On 3rd down, Kaiser. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about that little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Come on, let's go. What?
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The Packers on 3rd down. They amazingly have not seen a 4th down yet. They've converted every time. This will be 3rd and 5. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. Ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Packers are pouring it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Crosby on now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On first down, McCarron. And that is caught by Darius Stewart. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
McCarron now to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
McCarron to throw on second down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hansen. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Throwing on first. Here's McCarron. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Right back to him on first down. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That good for 22 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, boys, got four down. Mike check 33. I'm coming after you.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And they take a knee. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say good night, everybody.